Does this destroy your car? Do you get like a tax deduction for interior car detailing?
Well, it's funny you should ask about tax deductions. This podcast would actually have to make money in order to file for taxes. So not at this point.
It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And we're on 31st this week. I'm James Van Alstyne here with Martin Atkins, an author, an instructor, a musician, a mogul, a label head.
A mogul.
An all-around good guy. You picked the place we're eating at this week. Where are we at?
We're on Freddies on 31st Street.
So we're in the Bridgeport neighborhood.
Yeah, we're right down by the White Sox.
When I think Bridgeport, White Sox, hot dogs, Italian beefs, I think a British drummer from Public Image Limited, Killing Joke, and Invisible Records.
Well, we could have done Royal Pies, which would be very British.
That would be. It's royal after all.
And in fact, the last time I think I saw John Langford was like, imagine you're standing in line for a pie on 31st Street, actually a few blocks down, and the guy you're standing behind is John Langford from the Mekons. Like, oi! So there are an increasing number of choices in the Bridgeport area.
So when did you move to Chicago and make it official? Like, this is your home?
89. Maybe 90, but I think 89.
So that was ministry era?
Yeah. Well, I didn't move to Chicago to be in ministry, but I'd started my label. We put out 4 albums at that point. I was living in a loft. Well, it wasn't a loft. It was a disused garage in New Jersey. And
it sounds glamorous.
It was pretty cool, actually. I had a New Jersey telephone booth as a shower.
That's kind of cool.
It was really cool. I guess I was trying to recreate like the Monkees pad or something.
It sounds kind of Doctor Who too.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I left that there. I wish I brought it with me. But I came to Chicago just visiting. I think we played here with Killing Joke a couple of times, and this industrial thing was going on. The industrial music thing was going on, and the energy was crazy, and everybody was playing in each other's bands, and I wanted to be part of it. And then a promoter who shall remain nameless ripped us off, and ripped Killing Joke off for about $5,000, $4,500, and I'm like, okay, I'm not used to being ripped off. I'm going to get my money, and so I came back to Chicago after a Killing Joke tour, and holed up in a Days Inn in Greektown, which is now a different hotel completely, and tried to find this guy. Ended up in the studio with Ministry, listening to whatever that album was.
89, that would be a Mind is a Terrible Thing.
Mind is a Terrible Thing, yeah. And, I mean, I remember my reaction to that. I thought, well, the engineers put the tape on at the wrong speed. And
and just a couple years prior to that, This Is What You Want. I mean, you were working with Lydon again.
That was 85.
85, yeah.
That was a big hit. So, but that was 4 years. So in my years then, that's a long time.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I actually quit after PIL. I quit for probably a year, maybe even longer, until I ended up joining Killing Joke. So there was this period of like, can I swear?
The following show may contain language which some people consider objectionable. Yes.
Like, what the fuck is up with this music business thing? I just was in this band, and we went all over the world, and I had a house in LA with a swimming pool and palm trees, and a number 4 single all over the world, and it was shit. So
and that single, would that be This Is Not a Love Song?
This Is Not a Love Song, yeah. Probably, I would argue, one of the worst songs. I mean, I guess it was a good song. Who am I to say, right? It just felt we were exploring these different off-time rhythms and textures and different stuff, experimenting in the studio and really we weren't trying to push the envelope, we were just speeding and experimenting. And to have that song be the hit felt like, I mean, I think good for us that it was a hit because it kind of fueled the next stage of PIL, I think.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You know?
So I'm sure you get asked this all the time, but John Lydon, what's the relationship with him? Is it up and down? Do you exchange Christmas cards?
It's actually wildly up and down, like weirdly, wildly up and down. So
Is that just because he's a mercurial personality, or
no, I quit his band. So you know, you don't do that to a singer in a band, let alone John.
Yeah.
You know, that was just betrayal, and I see that. I understand it. I tried to be nice and give him like 4 months warning, you know, hey, I'm going to be quitting, this is horrible.
Yeah, really, if it were Bank of America, you only need 2 weeks notice. You give him 4 months.
But we had an Australian tour and a Japanese tour booked, and I didn't want to mess things up for anybody. And so we got along okay for a while. I have a picture of him wearing a Pigface shirt, I think, a Sheep on Drugs shirt, you know, with Lemmy.
That's amazing.
And he said some really nice things about me, like the occasional like Mojo retrospective, you know. Martin's a fantastic drummer. He really blah, 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 blah. However, I'll never work with him again. You know, it's like, oh, okay. I read that at an airport in Norway. And, you know, so actually he just turned 60. And I emailed his manager and I said, hey, would you tell John, you know, the Atkins family said happy birthday, happy 60th birthday. Because he's met two of my boys when the Sex Pistols were here. They were pulling his ears. And it's like, who is this lunatic picture? It's a great picture. And his manager emailed me back like, well, as you know, you may not know this, but John doesn't celebrate birthdays or Christmas and blah, blah, blah. And I kind of wrote back, I got pulled into being snotty. And I'm like, well, actually, in 1979, I remember when, you know, and when we were in 83 in Sydney Harbour, Australia, at Christmas, when Virgin Records baked us a cake, John kicked it into Sydney Harbour. You know? So actually, I do know. Even having said that, he's fucking 60, you know, would you wish him a happy birthday? You know, and he's like, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And then I thought that was the end of it. And he emailed me back later in the day, said, hey, John says hi, which, you know, felt strange. I got mad at him for a little bit because when my dad was dying, I thought, you know, a card from John or a phone call would have been really awesome for my dad. And couldn't get a hold of him. But that wasn't John's fault, and that was just me being whatever. But so, yeah, I quit his band.
There are many facets to you, Martin Atkins. There's the Public Image Limited history, the Killing Joke history. You mentioned Pigface. At this point, so many people have performed under the Pigface banner. I think two of the people at Freddy's behind the counter actually were members of Pigface.
Yeah, there is a bit of that.
I think one played wind chimes.
We had
with Lydia Lunch. It was kind of weird.
Have I ever told you about the guy with the shopping cart?
No.
There was a guy. Well, I mean, we started to attract. I mean, not just within the band, but we started to get a reputation for like anything goes, you know. And I was confronted by Curse Mackey from the Evil Mothers. We were performing in a space adjacent to their rehearsal space. And he said, hey, you know, people have said anything goes in Pigface. I'm like, yeah, it does. It's like, yeah, well, it's a lie. I'm like, okay. So, well, my band's got like 5 oil drums. I'm like, well, get them on stage. You know, so that was pretty cool. So this stuff goes on. And sometimes it would be like, hello, I'm a belly dancer. can I light a candle, put it on my head, put a lit candle in each of my hands and belly dance to one of your songs? It's like, oh, okay, you know, and that was amazing.
Yes, and the answer to that is always yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And,
Even if you're not in Pigface.
Right.
Yeah.
And, but then there's this guy in North Carolina who's like, I have wired guitar pickups all over a shopping cart. Can I perform? I'm like, you fuck, yes, of course you can perform.
What does that even sound like?
Well, let me tell you, for the rest of the day, there was like a frisson. Is that what it would be?
I don't know.
A frisson, which I think means a ripple of excitement.
Okay.
A frisson of it might be something to do with an omelette, but let's pretend.
It sounds very European, and I'm very impressed.
There was a frisson of excitement, and everybody's like, yeah, how's it going? Yeah, there's a guy with a shopping cart. Oh, my God. I can't wait. Did you hear this? There's a guy with a shopping cart. Oh, and the sound guy's ready. He's got the channel, and this guy comes on stage, and it's just somebody clanging on a shopping cart like outside Walmart, you know, and it's like I was expecting well, it's a miracle. It looks like a shopping cart, but it sounds like a harp. No, it was just bang, bang, bang. I nearly pissed my pants. Yeah.
Yeah, you were probably expecting some bold new instrumental statement.
Something. I was expecting something surprising. One of my other favourite moments. This is the 25th anniversary of Pigface, by the way.
Which
this
is
year.
no small thing.
Oh, we're ready. We're just ready to announce an installation at 2112 from March 29th for 6 weeks of all of the scenery.
Wow. And 2112, for those who don't know, is a music industry incubator on the northwest side of Chicago. You have office space there.
Yep.
I've been there a bunch of times. It's a stunning space.
It is to the world of music and tech what Pigface is to the world of music and shopping carts. It just creates these collisions, you know. So one of my other favourite moments, we've had 4 or 5 people get married on stage with Pigface, and one couple in Atlanta. For some reason, I threw in the rear lounge of our bus to consummate their marriage.
Wow.
While we were still on stage. So they got married during the first song. And I'm like, okay, here's the keys to the bus. Go on. Forgetting that a Norwegian band called Zeromancer were on tour with us, sharing the bus.
Oh, my God.
So we're halfway through the set, and one of the guys from Zeromancer comes up to the drum kit and taps me on the shoulder, just in the middle of a song, as you do. They will not stop fucking in their bus, and they will not close the door. I'm like, well, okay, you know.
It's the happy young couple.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Ain't love grand.
It was pretty wild. Then we had a couple from Chicago get married at the Metro with us. And, you know, we'd eBay the opportunity, but always we'd end up losing money on the deal. Because once someone's getting married at your gig, you're part of the thing.
Yeah.
So if the wedding party wants another case of beer or more wine coolers, as they did in Atlanta, or the groom's forgotten the cake, you know, we send out a runner with $400 to get a wedding cake, you know, and next thing you know, we've lost money, but everybody's had a good time. So, so this was an interracial couple that couldn't receive a blessing in either from either community to get married. So they sought refuge, crazily sought refuge on stage with Pigface. And
you know, when the church fails you, go to Pigface.
Exactly. And so part of the ceremony, there was this big tray of red rose petals to be kind of thrown in the air as the bride walked onto the stage. Well, you know, the Metro, it's like 2 or 3 flights of stairs from the dressing room to the stage. So we get up there and we start the song, and we've forgotten the petals. They're in the dressing room. So I say to Jim, my drum tech, who probably still hates me to the day, I'm like, Jim, the petals. We got the petals, and I'm drumming, so I can't, you know, I'm not enunciating. It's not the time to,
right.
you know. Here's a list of the things we've forgotten.
Well, and if you're drumming, I'm thinking drum pedals, not rose pedals.
Right. Well, he wasn't thinking that. He goes over to the guitar rig.
Oh, no.
And Christoph from Bile is playing chugging some riff with like 5 pedals. And Jim starts unplugging the pedals.
No.
And Christoph is like, what the hell? I've got a fantastic tone. It's Pigface Chicago Metro Saturday night. So, and Jim's like clicking, pulling batteries out. And Christoph starts kicking him in the face, like he's been destroyed his guitar sound.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, no. So, the worst look I think I've ever seen, the least wedding ceremony like look, when Jim eventually comes back upstairs with the rose petals and begrudgingly throws out a few handfuls of rose petals.
It's just like Father of the Bride with Steve Martin.
Yeah, it is. That's what we. Yeah,
you're like the Martin Short character.
Yeah. Well, I'm on a kind of I'm on this kind of Pigface jag at the moment. It's been I think it's 10 years since we played. Definitely 8. And
wait, seriously, it's been that long?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
In my head, I always have Pigface as this viable construct that's floating out there, but that's a long time.
It is a long time. And, I mean, we did the damage manual in between. Well, not in between, after, kind of. And
which I loved, by the way.
Thank you. I like that, too. And we did a lot. And then I wrote Tour Smart. And while I was on tour, and I was still touring when I was teaching, because my first class at Columbia came to the Metro, maybe to the Rose Petal show even. And but then the book took off, and then I'm just like flying all over the place speaking, and now here I am doing all
you've been
this other
distracted.
stuff. Being very distracted, yeah, in a decent way.
Well, let's talk more about Pigface. Let's talk about Tour Smart. Let's talk about your writing. So much to get to. I feel guilty that we've got 2 gigantic Italian beefs sitting on my dashboard, which I have 2 thoughts about this. One, that bag is really heavy. It's like there's a dwarf star in that paper bag.
Yeah.
That's how much beef we're about to consume.
Yeah.
2, it is a fool's errand. We're about to both dive into Italian beef sandwiches in a car, in a cramped car with microphones in front of us. I feel like this won't end well, but we don't know unless we try.
Well, I think this is just a mistake. I mean, and I was looking to you for guidance, and none was forthcoming.
I said a beef sandwich was adventurous.
Yeah, but you didn't say, no, do not do the beef
I'm
sandwich.
not going to tell Martin Atkins not to eat a beef sandwich.
Okay.
Who am I to do that? Come on.
So,
oh my God.
Dear Lord.
Whoa. See? Little real life hitting you there.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to open the bag. We both basically got the same thing. You got hot peppers. I went with sweet because I am sweet.
But but it's radio, so.
Well, it's kind of radio. We're talking in the front seat of my car.
What a great idea, by the way.
Oh, thank you. All right, here we go. I think you're hot.
Hot.
You're the hot one.
I think is that my sandwich, or is it just a comment?
Oh,
Well,
they smell good.
This is really heavy.
I'm telling you, it's a dwarf star. It's like a cement football.
It is, actually.
My God. And you got your napkins, right?
Yeah, I've got napkins all over the place here.
So let the record show, Martin didn't want to have anything to drink. To which I just said, do you sustain yourself on au jus?
I'm just not thirsty. I'm just not thirsty.
This is massive, dude. And it's greasy. This is all kinds of wrong. God forbid we get a pizza slice. Nope, got to get the beef.
Yeah, that would have been a really good idea. Actually, for your listeners, the pizza at Freddy's is interesting. It's very different. It has a rubberiness to it, not in a bad way, in kind of a good way. You know, I mean, I'm not slagging on Freddy. We're about to get an antique taco. Have you had an antique taco?
I have not.
Not me either, but I'm excited that we're getting one in the neighborhood.
Okay, I got provolone on this. Holy crap, this is really good.
Good. Well, see, I'm still trying to unwrap mine.
And the sandwiches, as any good beef sandwich should be, they're dipped, so they're totally wet.
Oh yeah, see that? No, it's insane, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was crazy.
Oh mercy!
Good job, I got my suit on.
Yeah, you look way too nice to be doing this.
Well, I should have put a painter's overalls on.
So, in answer to your earlier question, does this destroy my car? Maybe a little.
I don't even know how I can pick this up. Oh, there we go. I got an idea here.
Yeah, I'm kind of holding it using the foil.
I'm going into kind of a hero configuration.
You gotta have strategy.
Yeah.
And I'm undoing my jaw like a snake in order to take this in my...
I'm going to nibble. I'm nibbling the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So let the record show, I haven't even taken... It hasn't even gotten in my face yet.
See, my strategy when I do these things is I try to eat quickly so that I can keep the conversation going.
Oh, okay.
So I'm choking this down like a stoned college student at 2 in the morning.
That is a kind of a dangerous radio strategy there, isn't it?
It is. God, when I did a lot of stuff on WGN, I could never eat when I was on the air because there was never downtime.
Wasn't there like... So what would the snack of choice be? Like
I really wouldn't snack while I was on the air.
a mini Twix?
I do like Twix. It's a cookie sandwich.
Yeah.
But doing music radio, oh my God, you could have a 5-course meal in the studio,
Mm-hmm.
and really be done before you have to talk again.
I used to book gigs from the, the truckers' lounge where they have phones at the tables. This is before they had cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a good sandwich.
This is a great sandwich, and this place is totally affordable. I mean, this is a cheap beef hot dog and pizza stand on 31st.
I think they had a fire a couple of years ago and completely renovated. So I'm not sure. It made me a little bit suspicious about the fire.
Well, one of the first things I said when I saw you here, this place does a hell of a business.
Oh,
A steady stream of people.
coppers.
Yeah, they've got the horse in front.
Yeah.
With all the police stuff on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is one of those neighborhood places.
But we've got some good coffee shops down here now. Jackalope is like 32nd off a little side street. So you can't get to it directly from Halstead.
Mm-hmm.
That's really great. Bridgeport Coffee on 31st and Morgan. There's like stuff going on.
Do you watch baseball? I mean, do you like baseball? Do you follow the Sox?
As a young boy, I used to...
Hot pepper.
Hot peppers. I used to listen to baseball before I knew what it was, over in England.
Oh, really? They would have broadcasts?
Well, on my world radio, I could get it. And I'm not... I mean, yeah, I really like to walk over to the White Sox maybe twice a year and walk back,
Yeah, because it seems like if you live in Bridgeport, the same thing with Wrigleyville. You have to have at least a passing interest
Yeah.
in what goes on at the ballpark.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a neighborhood thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is seriously delicious. And I'm unapologetically going to finish this whole thing.
Well, all right. I gave one of my kids driving lessons in the White Sox car park. And, not during a game day or anything. And they send this guy over, hey, what's happening? I'm like, well, just giving my kids some lessons, Oh, really? Well, are you involved? Do you have a season ticket? I'm like, no, I don't have a season ticket. And, and for the last 10 years, we've been suffering crazy lunatics parking all over our neighborhood,
I bet.
At least you can do is return the favor.
It doesn't work like that, though, does it? That was... The beef is very sweet. And that au jus, the wet, oh, man.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, so we talked briefly about Tour Smart.
Yeah.
It's a book you wrote, which really has become this indispensable resource for touring musicians. How to navigate through the music industry.
Thank you.
What was, and I'm sure you've answered this for me before, but you've never answered it for me over Italian beef in my car. What was it that drove you to write that? Was it your own frustration with the business, or a benevolent need to help colleagues? And
well, that and there were points where a couple of people said, "Well, do you want to put that in there?" You know, and I had to sit and think and go, well. Because it's kind of normal to go, hey, be careful with all the secrets you're giving away. You're giving away your edge. And I sat and thought about it. I'm like, no, fuck it. But I started to, I was writing a PIL memoir. So I was in book frame of mind.
Yep.
And then we had a 3-bus, 5-band tour going on. And I thought, look, we got all these people working at the label. I need some help, and I'd heard about this idea of interns. So I went to Columbia College, which is just up the street, and I went in, did a presentation for a couple of the faculty, and I'm like, so there you go. And they're like, fantastic, when can you start? And I actually said, I can put some interns in my car now.
In my car?
Go back to the label. And they're like, no, when could you start teaching this stuff? I'm like, what are you talking about? And like, well, you obviously know what you're doing. You should teach this. I'm like, oh, okay. When? And they're like, Saturday afternoon.
Perfect.
3 days to prepare. And I was just like, yeah. And so, and I thought that was an interesting opportunity. And I'll tell my students, it turns out that wasn't the opportunity. I go into the first class, and somebody gives me the textbook, which was Theatre Touring, written in 1962. I'm like, well, we can't use this. And I couldn't find anything. So I started to write material that became TourSmart and do lessons and research. And, honestly, teaching, I'm at SAE now. I'm the Music Business Department chair. I'm the national chair of the Curriculum Committee for Music Business. So we have these meetings now, and I get to continue to put my 10 cents in to try and help and influence these programs and give people information. So just kind of one of those interesting points in life where I didn't intend to teach or to write a book. Well, I did intend to write a PIL book.
Right.
Which I'm now almost getting ready to do.
Are your memories still that strong from those days?
Oh my God, yeah.
And I ask that because we see memoirs from musicians year after year, and you wonder, how on earth is that person really recollecting that? How much... I brought up the Keith Richards book a couple shows ago. The lucidity with which Keith Richards recalls his history with the Stones seems completely implausible.
Well, but, yeah, I agree. But there are also... there are vignettes etched in glass that won't be lost on a hard drive or whatever. Like when you pick up a photograph from 150 years ago, as clear as that. Like Olympic Auditorium, Los Angeles, 10,000 punks, riot police on horseback, helicopters, and I see on the third balcony, I think, somebody's turned on the fire hose. And it's coming down the stairs with such force that it's actually white water, right? That's how I saw it, this white water coming down the stairs. And my eyes follow it down over the balcony to the floor below, same thing, and straight off the last balcony, and then my eyes see our sound guy mixing underneath a tarp.
Oh my God.
And just stuff, there are these just moments. The bar at the Gramercy Park Hotel, the Lenox Hotel in Boston, WBCN Radio with Oedipus and Carter Allen, who were the midnight to 4 a.m. guys who both became huge radio
Yeah, those guys were
personalities.
huge modern rock radio guys.
Yeah, well, we were at Oedipus's house with his parrot. Just moments. The W Hotel here on Lakeshore used to be a Holiday Inn, I think.
Yeah.
We played the almost in Evanston, a theatre up there. I forgot. It's a shopping centre now, the Granada Theatre. But my memory is also prompted by lots of photographs that I took, press clippings, postcards home that I sent to my mum and dad that they sent back to me, pieces of clothing that I wore, which I still have. I still have the shirt I wore on American Bandstand. I have my cancelled check stub from Dick Clark, the sign from the dressing room door.
That's amazing. That was an infamous performance.
Yeah. But I also, here's where I'm at. I'm really pleased I didn't get to write my pill memories, or whatever it's going to be called, in 2003, because I've changed in the last 10, 15 years. And I have this understanding of just because somebody remembers something a different way than I do doesn't mean it's incorrect. That's their memory. And so it's actually really interesting to me to find a couple of sequences where myself, John, Keith Levine, Joe Wobble, or Pete Jones, the bass player who replaced Wobble, kind of run these moments and see how those memories connect.
I've never asked you about Joe Wobble before.
Oh, okay. Why not?
I don't know. I just never have.
You've certainly never asked me in your car.
True enough, over Italian beef and French fries. My impression of him, just as a music listener, is that he's pretty freaking amazing.
Uh-huh.
What's the Martin Atkins perspective?
How do you mean what amazing?
Super talented and innovative, and I mean, even that solo album he did in the mid-'90s, the Invaders from the Heart, I thought was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, he's a ridiculously funny guy. I mean, ridiculously funny. There's a little bit of a dark side to Wobble sometimes, but I would take that over a calm, shitty bass player any day. and that's part, I didn't know that then. We all grow up and change, and you get to look back and realize what was really important and spectacular and what was just bullshit. And I like playing with Wobble a lot. He's one of my only musical friends from that time who called me when my dad died.
So, all right, Tour Smart. You wrote that.
Uh-huh.
Your experiences, your recollections, your advice. We were talking as we were waiting at Freddy's tonight about how things change so rapidly, whether it's technology, even social media. You mentioned last year around this time at South by Southwest, everyone was talking about Meerkat. 1 week later, it became the conversation steered into Periscope. That's how quickly things change. As someone who has written a book about the music industry and is ready to really fully launch another book about it, what's the danger of that content becoming dated or less valid?
Well, huge. I think Tour Smart mentions MySpace a couple of times.
Sure. And how could it not at the time?
Right, but it didn't have a how-to MySpace. It was just early enough that MySpace wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't feel like it needed a chapter about MySpace, and I think it helps that it doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So, but as things have accelerated, and I just did a thing at 2112 last night, social media mindset, and I talked about Ripple, RIPL, Crowdfire, Follower Wonk, Social Bro, Instagram, just stuff that weren't even on my radar, some of them a week ago.
Social Bro is a measurement?
Yeah, you can find out where your fans are on Twitter.
Yeah.
I can do a Twitter audit in 8 seconds and find out how many real Twitter followers somebody has. All this stuff. But actually, so that's a gift, because you start to move away from the how to use Twitter chapter and hopefully move towards how to use social media, how to be a person, how to find yourself. Try and find things that are not just immune from the changes that might befall Twitter,
right,
or MySpace or whatever, but are more deep and meaningful in content anyway. And so I think that was a gift. I spent maybe 2 years longer than I should have on Band Smart, but some of that just doesn't matter. One of my favorite quotes about social media is Dale Carnegie: "You will make more friends in 2 months being interested in other people than you will make in 2 years trying to get other people interested in you." That's 1942. So there are...
That's a great quote.
Oh, my dad gave me that quote. And so there is information out there that is hugely relevant, even though it's really old. So I'm sure there will be parts of the book that are just like hilariously ridiculous, and that's why Tidal is the be all and end all, and now they're being sued, and it's just like, oh, okay. But the more you study stuff like this, you look at social media. Friendster was before MySpace, and MySpace was the shit, and then Facebook. So, Facebook are doing a really good job of spending their money and buying up all of the would-be competitors and incorporating them. But, you got to be careful, and so I think the book has benefited from that pressure, if you like.
And you've taken almost a Pigface approach to both your books, in that it's a collective of people. Everyone has their kind of role to play, and you welcomed a lot of people to contribute. I contributed to Band Smart.
Yep. Well, why would you not? I'd have to be some kind of an asshole if it was like, hey, Marty Atkins music business. I think
you have a breadth of voices and opinions from across.
Yeah, I've got people disagreeing with me on the same page.
Yeah.
Because okay, there's a lot of different opinions, and what might be right for one person is totally incorrect for another. And I think there's 300 contributors to Band Smart. Some great stuff, just great stuff in there. And that same kind of graphic-heavy layout.
The layout of Tour Smart is so great. I've seen a rough of Band Smart. It's certainly along those lines. I should, as a total side note, say, as we're sitting out here at Freddy's, cute girls go to Freddy's. Just made that note.
Where?
And she just got something to go. A girl in the car in front of us.
Oh, thanks for the heads up. I'm sitting here with my face in my sandwich.
Well, no, you were talking about your book. I didn't want to, derail you.
Well,
I'm trying to,
Thanks for half of your attention, James.
I take a big picture look at everything. It's a 30,000-foot view, if I can go corporate on you.
Yeah, okay.
I'm taking the 30,000-footer. So, Eric, what's the official plan for the rollout of Band Smart?
Well, we pre-released the mistake-ridden copy in December of last year. So we did a special thing with CD Baby has something called Book Baby, and I like the guys at CD Baby, so we worked out a deal to put Band Smart on Book Baby for $9.99, and there's a Google Doc that you can find the mistakes and submit mistakes to win a T-shirt.
This is like the Marvel Comics No Prize. Back in the day, when you read Marvel Comics in like the 70s, maybe even the 80s as well, if you spotted a continuity error or something that didn't make sense or someone's costume was colored wrong and you wrote a letter to that comic book, Marvel Comics would send you an envelope that was called a No Prize. Basically, yeah, thanks for catching us on that. Here's nothing for your trouble. And I love the concept. It was very Stan Lee. So you're basically issuing no prizes in the form of T-shirts.
Yeah, and also, I think it comes from the idea of saying, hey, this isn't fully correct. There's some silly mistakes in here, and even if we set out on a 1-month mission to pin our eyes back with a case of Red Bull a day to find every single mistake, you'd still open page 3. Oh my God! I misspelt my own name. There's no solution for it. So, in a very kind of undertones, with their Teenage Kicks 7-inch cover, the undertones are shit, which kind of removes the power of any critic saying the undertones are shit. We said, hey, here's the mistake-ridden copy. Find the mistakes and Courtney in Baltimore went through the whole book. I mean, she's still only getting a shirt. Maybe I'll buy her dinner or something. But and actually, one of my students said, "Oh, okay, I get it. You've inserted mistakes so you can have this competition."
That's it.
And I'm
That's
like,
it.
yeah. If you really, if you want to believe that I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. We've inserted
The book would
mistakes.
otherwise be error-free. I just thought it'd have some fun.
Yeah. And there's two pieces that I've asked to be written that are being inserted, and I've forgotten what one of them is. Oh dear, I forgot what one of them is, but it's awesome.
Well, let's talk about some of the pieces that are in the book. What stands out to you? Whether it's a specific person you got to write something or the message. Like, what are things that you think will really turn people's heads when they read it?
Well, so Wendy Day, who did the Cash Money deal, the largest record deal ever, really kind of puts pen to paper and thinks about indies versus majors and what that means. Julie Niehoff from Constant Contact has great stuff in there.
Constant Contact is in email marketing?
Yeah, email marketing tool. But there's great MailChimp tricks and tips. But the Constant Contact stuff isn't touch button B on Constant Contact. It's timeless marketing stuff. Lots of funny stuff. Jason Arnott, who writes for Doctor Who, wrote a piece. He has a book out about interviewing people, and so he wrote a piece for me. There's some quotes from Bob Lefsetz in there he'd let me use.
Wow.
Seth Godin let me use a quote. I mean, honestly, there's some pages where there's 10 people throwing down quotes, and that's just like, here it all is,
Do you have, you were talking about when you were writing your pill memoirs, you were in that mode, you were kind of in that grind, and then Tour Smart kind of was the right thing at the right time. Were you already in kind of a writing like discipline in such a way that you were devoting X amount of hours each day, you were forcing yourself to write to get toward a book, or was it just kind of catch as catch can?
It was the latter. I mean, I tried to, I'm more of like I'm just going to write for the next 2 days kind of, because there's so much other stuff going on. I'd like to be the 2 hours a day writer, but I don't get to do that. I mean, I've got 4 kids, so it's, anything could be. I mean, I could schedule that time out, but it just feels like it works for me.
It's hard. I mean, I love to write, and I took a fiction writing course years ago.
You have well, I have your book, don't I? I have your book.
I think you do, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Thank you. One of the things the instructor said, which, by the way, I can't write fiction to save my soul. No, not a prayer. I respect greatly people who can. He said, if you want to be a writer, find a way to do it every day, even if it's 5 minutes, just sitting down, putting something to paper. It's not so much that you'll come up with great stuff. It's just getting in that discipline. It worked for me. Right. And I get it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Yeah.
But when I got in that groove and I was working on that book you mentioned, it was really helpful to, okay, this is my time. I've got to do it. But then again, I didn't have 4 kids. I wasn't at Atkins level amount of activity.
I think that I took more of a recording studio artist approach where, if you have an hour to go into a studio, it's useless because you just finished turning off your phone. Oh, there's no cream for the coffee. Oh, now light the
be
incense.
Creative.
Yeah, light the incense. We're out of time. It's a funnel, and so in a 16-hour session in the studio, the last 4 hours are more productive than the first 12. Everything becomes accelerated. So I think for me, I was always looking for that accelerated space.
Interesting.
And
this is why Keith Richards never slept.
yeah.
That's why.
It is in the tunnel. But also, because of the layout and the number of contributions and the clearances, I was also a project manager, which is a bad idea. And we're crowdfunding the whole thing. So, that was just, to if I can sit and write my pill book, I would love to have the time to to sit and think about that. You know.
But yeah, you bring up a good point. This book is it's a lot of different roles, above and beyond writer.
Yeah.
It's so much to manage there.
Right. But I'm happy that it's nearly done. I mean, it feels done to me, except for, like, you know, spot the mistakes and send it off to the printer.
Do you think after this, and it's hard to even speculate, do you think after this book, another music business type book will, you may not have that answer right now, but something will present itself the way Tour Smart did? Like, there will be a third, like a trilogy. This is like your Lord of the Rings.
Well,
maybe Return of the King is on the way.
Well, it is my third book, because Welcome to the Music Business, You're Fucked.
Forgive me.
Yeah, which is easy to forget, because we put that together in 3 18-hour days with an illustrator. We had a bunch of illustrations, and I had the map of it. But in terms of the layout, once again, I'm tearing up pieces of cardboard. And Eric from Detroit, who's no longer with us, we worked in this triangle. I'm giving ideas to the illustrator, who's sketching things out, getting approval, and then inking them in. Me and Eric are like tearing up pieces of card and scanning them and coming up with ideas. And
See, I was thinking of the Smart line of books.
okay, yeah. Well, so will there be something else smart? Gardening smart.
I would read that.
Retirement smart. You know, I got a discount at Walgreens today, so it's like
No, you did not.
Yeah, I did. The Tuesday, every Tuesday of the month is like senior discount month. I'm like, what are you doing?
No, I know you have gray hair. I know you played with Public Image back at the end of the 70s,
Yeah.
but I
I'm
guess
between the speed limit and Heinz.
my mind is blown. You don't act like it.
Uh-huh.
And I don't mean that in an insulting way. You don't act like someone of your age.
Right. Well, I mean, American Bandstand was 79, 80. It was 1980. I mean, it's 45 years ago.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. No, is it? Or is it 35?
I'm not good at math. There's a calculator on my phone if we really want to.
35 years ago.
That's right.
You know, and I mean, I was young when I was in Pill, but still.
Wow.
Still. Yeah.
All right, so Pigface 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
What's planned for the rest of the year? And I feel bad that you still have a chunk of beef in your hand.
I'm not sure. I didn't have anything planned 8 weeks ago, and now we have this installation at 2112. I just heard today that the campus in Los Angeles, the SAE campus, it's a huge, beautiful campus. They want the exhibition.
Oh, fun.
So, and it's cool. My one of my Sandy Powell suits is going with the display. She made me a punk suit in 1978.
Wow.
And she has like 4 Oscars now. So I think Kurs Mackey's going to come up. We both spin. So maybe we'll go and spin somewhere. Maybe I'll call the exit. Somewhere ridiculous.
You don't think you're going to do a show?
I think we might do a show at the end of the year. I'm not sure.
It would seem only appropriate.
Well, the problem is, it's not like, hey, jump on the Brown line, we're going to do a gig. It's like, hey, how much are the flights from Scotland?
Yeah.
It's like $15,000 to get everybody together to have a cup of tea. At which point we might as well do a show, but it's not a small undertaking.
Can't you get like a Henry Rollins to come on over from the West Coast? Or
I have a postcard from Henry. I get along really good with Henry. He sent me this postcard, which I know I have somewhere. It says, "Unfortunately, I will not be able to participate in the new Pigface album." Which, that's from like 92. Yeah, 92.
And that was low self-opinion era Rollins. He was, Lollapalooza. He was a titan around that time.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Martin Atkins, I adore you. I'm so glad we got to eat beef sandwiches in my car. It's long overdue. Thank you for...
Thanks for having me. This was really nice to sit and chat and rediscover Freddies.
All right, so if people want to dive deeper into the world of Martin Atkins, where's a good place to start other than your social media accounts? You can go... just in general...
Listen to a Damage Manual album called Limited Edition. I love the cover that I made, and I love that album. There's something you might not be aware of called the Opium Jukebox. That was my project for 4 albums. It's cover songs with sitars and loops.
That's amazing.
The first one it was my album. The last 2, a tribute to the Rolling Stones called Sticky Bangra, and a tribute to Black Sabbath called Bangra Bloody Bangra. I just supervised. So there's some interesting stuff. I don't know if you've heard my Christmas album.
No?
The Martin Atkins and the Chicago Industrial League Christmas album. I can't believe I made a Christmas album. My son Ian is crying on that album. He was in my arms. He'd just been born a few months before.
That's amazing.
And he's turning 21. So you could go to the tstouring.com
There you go.
and get a free download of Welcome to the Music Business, You're Fucked. You can follow me on Twitter, MarTeee, 4 E's, just like the old days. And I'm always doing stuff in town. I'm going to be speaking at Lake Effects. I'm going to do something with SimCon.
Yeah, I mean, you're so busy that I'm actually shocked we have the time to do this tonight, so thank you.
I'm pleased you asked me, and I'm happy to do it.